The flag of Israel on top of one of the most strategic positions in southern Lebanon. Beaufort Castle has been here for 900 years and seized countless times since the Crusades. This time by Israeli troops in a major advance against Hezbollah. This footage released by the IDF is said to show operations during its deepest push into Lebanon in years and a few kilometres north of the border with Israel.
I instructed the IDF to expand the manoeuvre in Lebanon. Our forces crossed the Litani River, they seized controlled areas, they occupied the Beaufort Ridge, and now my instruction is to deepen and expand our grip on the places that were under Hezbollah's control.
This is all despite a US-backed ceasefire. Extended from April, no truce really to be seen. This weekend, rockets in the skies over the border of the two countries and fighting intensifying. In the southern Lebanese city of Nabatea, they wait to be evacuated. Israel has warned everyone here to flee. They're being taken north by ambulances, escorted by the army for safer passage.
Over there, the shelling is towards the Ali Al-Tahir hills, around the Beaufort Castle. We're in these valleys over there. You never know how the drones might carry out some airstrike on us. They're not sparing anyone.
In northern Israel, the military has ordered schools to close following one of the heaviest days of Hezbollah fire since the ceasefire. In Kiryat Shimona, they survey the damage to a shopping centre too. And what's happening there could have an impact here. The US-Iran deal that both sides so desperately need could calm the Middle East, but still hasn't materialised. The Strait of Hormuz still clogged via stalemate. US forces said they disabled a vessel this weekend nearby in the Gulf of Oman to prevent a blockade violation. Iran on state media said there's still little trust, describing the US as the enemy.
Until we are certain that the rights of the Iranian people have been secured, we will not approve any agreement. The guarantee behind this strategy is our own lives, which we hold in our hands, ready to sacrifice for the people of Iran.
Thanks to this president, we are closer than ever before to eliminating the nuclear threat from Iran.
Donald Trump, meanwhile, in an interview with his own daughter-in-law. It's now being widely reported that he's sent deal amendments to Tehran to be considered.
But we're close to a very good deal, and if we can make it good, otherwise we just start up with the Department of War. We're getting what we want slowly, very tough negotiators. It takes a long time. I'm in no hurry. I'd like to say I'm in a hurry because, you know, gasoline prices are going to come tumbling down. But if you're going to be in a hurry, you're not going to make a good deal.
It's not clear whether amendments include any kind of rowing back from that or what it would look like, including those red lines over Iranian nuclear weapon development. The president was on his way to play golf this weekend and didn't mention any of it. Instead, posting a number of images depicting what's seemingly on his mind, his legacy compared with the founding fathers, land acquisition, and how clever he is, apparently confirming he'd taken another dementia screening test. Unlike other US presidents, he said, I scored a perfect 30 out of 30, considered extreme intelligence. But while he applauds his own mental capacity, the situation on the ground in the Middle East feels like a never-ending Rubik's Cube. Diplomacy failing to find resolution, and ordinary lives the casualty.
Well, Jan Egeland, the Secretary General of the Norwegian Refugee Council, is in Iran currently, visiting projects funded by the organisation. There, he joins me now. We've just been hearing about Israel's expanded offensive in Lebanon. It's intertwined, isn't it, with what's going on very much in Iran?
It is, and it's in many ways a similar situation. Lebanon and Iran are full of refugees. Very vulnerable people here in Iran, 4.5 million Afghans, hundreds and thousands of people from Iraq. That's forgotten in all of this. It has devastating consequences for the civilian population, this war, and it cannot resume here in Iran, and it has to end in Lebanon.
What is happening to the kind of displaced population within Iran right now? I mean, there's obviously a ceasefire, but we don't hear much about them, do we? Not least because we can't report there half the time.
No, I mean, again, the civilian consequences of this war, which was portrayed as some kind of a chess game, who has most missiles? What about the Strait of Hormuz? Millions were fleeing from thousands of missile and rocket impacts here in Iran. And the Afghan refugees came also in the middle of it. Now people are fearful of the future, and they really, really hope to see no resumption of war. And the economic situation is in free fall for people, not the least for the refugees who were having some income from the informal sector. And that's all gone now because of the rampant inflation and economic crisis.
The attack on the Minab school on the first day of the conflict, that killed, I think it's about 120 children. The US, as far as I know, says it's still investigating that attack after all this time. Do you think that's acceptable?
There are many civilian impacts here. I mean, I saw a hospital completely destroyed. And I was in a residential area where one residential block after the other was in complete ruins. Children's toys, school books in the rubble. Of course, there you also see a lot of military, police, and industries being hit. The whole lesson from modern warfare is that it happens in densely populated areas, and it has devastating consequences for the civilians. You cannot not hit civilians when you have 20, 30,000 impacts in a place like Iran.
I suppose what it comes down to is the US would say it doesn't target civilians, but whether it's Ukraine, Gaza, Iran, and the threat from Donald Trump to bomb Iran back to the Stone Ages if it doesn't do what it wants in terms of negotiations. I mean, have we moved beyond international law now?
No, we have not. I mean, it's important to rally around. I mean, the UK, a P5 member of the Security Council, Europe, we all have to do more to defend international law. In what we're seeing in Lebanon, what we saw in Iran, what we've seen also by all of the missiles going the other way into the Gulf countries and into Israel, these are rampant violations of a law that we have to defend. We're still a civilization. We have to defend the laws. If not, it's game over for humanity.
But speaking out in Iran is virtually a death sentence these days. What happens when you raise that there where you are now in Tehran?
Well, I'm a humanitarian worker. I work for the civilians on all sides of all conflicts. What we work for here is full operational freedom, and we've been able to reach all of the Afghan refugees without any hindrance, and we've also been able to reach Iranian civilian families who had their homes destroyed, and we're giving them support. But we only got two nations supporting the civilian victims, including the Afghan victims of the war in Iran, and that was Norway and Sweden. The others are missing in action for the civilian population.
Okay. Jan Egeland, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.